Ever been scrolling online and just, stop by an image? Maybe it was a product that just looked fantastic or a picture that gave you a certain feeling,
Yeah.
and suddenly you're thinking, yeah, I need that. We're diving deep into that very reaction today, the power of visual persuasion in e-commerce.
And e-commerce psychology is powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you run smart discount campaigns on your store. You can test it for free on your Shopify store. Just land on the Shopify App Store now and test it for free.
Absolutely. And this deep dive, it's all about visual persuasion, images that trigger action. We've looked at some really insightful stuff, digging into the e-commerce psychology behind those, well, incredibly compelling visuals.
Yeah.
For you listening, think of this as your shortcut, your way to understand how to make your online store's images truly work, how to tap into what makes people click that buy now button.
Our goal today, it's pretty clear. We want to unpack the psychological principles,
Yeah.
the key elements, and the real-world ways visual persuasion is used in e-commerce. We want to give you actionable strategies, stuff you can use to really boost the visual impact of your online shop. So let's start simple. What is visual persuasion, and how did it become so critical online?
Okay. Yeah, let's break it down. At its core, visual persuasion is basically using what we see, images, colors, layouts, to nudge what we think, or ultimately what we do. It's not totally new, obviously. Think billboards, magazine ads. But wow, has it changed?
Oh, massively. We've gone from those static print things to like dynamic TV ads and now the constant stream of social media reels, interactive websites.
It's nonstop.
Exactly. And in today's attention economy where everyone's fighting for eyeballs, visuals aren't just important, they are everything. Research suggests something like 90% of the information hitting our brains is visual.
90%. Wow. That really puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
It does.
So if you're trying to get noticed online, having great images isn't just a nice to have. It's basically the ticket to entry.
And what's really fascinating is just how fast our brains deal with images. Studies show we process pictures something like 60,000 times faster than text.
60,000.
Yeah, that's speed. That's the key. That's how you grab someone's attention instantly while they're just scrolling away.
It's like our brains have this visual superhighway. And it's not just speed, is it? Emotions get tangled up in this, too.
Oh, absolutely. A single well-chosen image can spark all sorts of feelings. Joy from seeing someone happy with a product, maybe nostalgia,
Nostalgia is powerful.
or even urgency if the visual hints at limited time or something. And when those emotions get stirred up, the message becomes way more memorable.
It's that emotional hook that makes things stick. And this isn't just fluff. There's actual brain science here, right?
Yeah, definitely. Seeing stuff activates the visual cortex.
Yeah.
And interestingly, if those visuals make us feel good, it can actually light up the brain's reward pathways.
Like a little dopamine hit just from looking at a nice photo.
Kind of, yeah. A little reward for seeing something appealing.
That makes total sense. But what one person finds appealing, that can differ wildly, can it? Culture, context.
Precisely. Your cultural background, the situation you see an image in it, all shapes how you interpret it. Take the color red. Good luck in some places.
Danger in others.
Exactly. So knowing your audience, really knowing them, is just fundamental.
Okay, so strategically then, why are visuals so vital for marketing, especially in e-commerce?
Well, connecting it all, persuasive visuals are like the bedrock of trust online. Think about it.
Yeah.
You can show detailed product shots, maybe photos from actual users.
Right, the user-generated stuff.
Yeah, and that helps cut through the skepticism people naturally have buying online. They can't touch the product, right? So the visuals have to bridge that gap. It makes the virtual feel, well, more real.
Making the intangible tangible. I like that.
Exactly. Good, clear images give a product substance. They reduce doubt about the quality. And look, in a packed online market, great visuals are how you stand out, how you differentiate your brand, build those emotional ties that lead to loyalty.
And the bottom line?
The bottom line is, the data shows it again and again. Better, more persuasive visuals lead straight to higher conversion rates, more sales. End of story.
Okay, so visuals are powerful. We get it. But what are the psychological gears turning behind the scenes? What makes them persuasive? What's happening in our heads?
Great question. A lot of it comes down to cognitive biases. These are like mental shortcuts our brains use to make decisions faster. And visuals heavily influence these shortcuts.
Like the halo effect. Is that one?
That's a classic one. Halo effect.
Yeah.
If the image looks good, is attractive, we just kind of assume the product itself must be high quality too. It's a snap judgment based purely on looks.
Okay, what else?
Then there's social proof.
Ah, yeah, seeing crowds or lots of people using something makes you think, oh, that must be popular.
Exactly. Pictures of busy places or loads of customer photos showing happy people with the product, it signals, hey, this is a safe, popular choice. Scarcity is another big one.
The only three left manner, or that ticking clock visual, gets me every time.
Huh.
Me too.
Visually highlighting scarcity creates that FOMO fear of missing out, pushing people to decide now. And then there's anchoring.
Anchoring.
Yeah.
How does that work visually?
You might show, say, different sizes or versions of a product next to each other, often with different prices. That first price you see, or the fanciest version shown, acts as an anchor.
Ah, so the mid-range one suddenly looks like a bargain in comparison.
Precisely. It influences your perception of value, even if you wouldn't have thought it was a good deal on its own.
Clever. So it's not just logic. Our emotions are really driving the bus here too, aren't they?
Absolutely central. Images that hit us emotionally are just far more persuasive, far more memorable. Think about nostalgia again, visuals bringing back happy memories. That creates a really strong positive link to a brand.
And joy, obviously. People like feeling happy.
Always a good bet.
Yeah.
But there are others too. Empathy is huge. Ads showing relatable people, situations you understand. That creates connection. Urgency, like we said, can be visual countdowns, but also maybe stormy skies for insurance, things like that. And visual storytelling. That's incredibly engaging.
How do you tell a story visually in e-commerce, though? Quickly.
Often it's a sequence of images or maybe a short video clip, a mini narrative that connects emotionally. Then you've got aspiration showing the product as part of some ideal lifestyle people desire.
Okay, so in this this attention economy we keep mentioning, where everyone's scrolling like mad, having a clear visual focus seems paramount.
Totally critical. Good visual design needs a clear hierarchy. One main thing should grab your eye first, right?
Yeah.
It guides you, stops it being just visual noise.
And color plays a huge part in that, and in the feeling it creates.
Indispensable. Warm colors, reds, oranges, they tend to signal excitement, energy, maybe urgency. Think sales banners, call to action buttons.
Right.
Cooler colors, blues, greens, they often imply trust, calm, reliability. See them a lot in finance, healthcare branding.
So it's way more strategic than just picking colors that look nice together.
Oh, definitely. And things like high contrast, dark text on a light background, for instance, help pull attention to key info. Layout matters too, whether it's symmetrical and stable or maybe centered and dynamic.
What about the empty space? Negative space.
Super important. It lets the key elements breathe, makes them pop, stops the design feeling cluttered or overwhelming.
And now with digital, we've got animation too.
Right. Animated bits, interactive elements, they can grab curiosity, hold attention longer than just a static picture. Even a subtle pulse on a button can draw the eye.
Okay, psychology nailed down. Let's get practical. What are the actual key elements, the building blocks of a persuasive visual?
Right, let's start with color and composition again, but more practically. We know red can mean urgency, blue means trust. Use those associations deliberately. High contrast is vital for readability, highlighting what matters.
And the layout. Balanced.
Yeah, a balanced layout feels good, whether it's symmetric for stability or maybe centered for focus. And really use that negative space strategically to give your main subject room to shine.
Okay. And what about the types of images? Are some inherently more persuasive?
Different types work for different goals. Lifestyle imagery showing real people using your product in everyday settings that builds connection. It lets people imagine themselves using it.
Makes sense.
Model imagery, you see it all the time in fashion and beauty, right?
Yeah.
That often plays on aspiration, maybe social proof. It looks good on them.
And for complex info, I guess photos don't always cut it.
Exactly. That's where infographics are gold. They simplify data, make it visual, easy to grasp, huge credibility booster, shows you know your stuff.
Yeah.
And then back to user-generated content, UGC.
The customer photos and videos.
Yeah. Hugely powerful for trust and relatability. Seeing real people, real experiences, that feels way more authentic than slick marketing shots.
Technical quality
Yeah.
seems obvious, but worth saying again.
Oh, absolutely critical.
Yeah.
Low res, blurry, badly lit. Doesn't matter how great the concept is, it just looks unprofessional. It undermines credibility instantly. High quality projects quality. And if you use stock photos, please pick ones that feel authentic and actually fit your brand. Generic stock is, well, obvious.
Kills the vibe.
Totally. And finally, consistency. Same style, same colors, same tone across all your visuals, everywhere. That builds a strong, recognizable brand.
So we've got the theory, the elements. How does this play out day to day, specifically for e-commerce stores?
Well, online retailers lean heavily on product images, as the research shows. For most shoppers online, those pictures are the main way, sometimes the only way. They judge a product before buying.
Yeah, it's all you've got sometimes.
Exactly. And we're seeing way more 3D and augmented reality AR coming in now.
Like spinning a product around or seeing how furniture looks in your actual room using your phone.
Precisely that. That virtual interaction really helps close the gap between shopping online and seeing something in a physical store. Things like really good close-ups showing texture, lifestyle shots showing scale, product videos, they're becoming essential.
Especially for clothes or electronics where fit and detail are everything.
Absolutely. They cut down the guesswork and doubt.
Okay, so we put in the effort, create these amazing visuals. How do we know they're actually working? How do we measure this stuff and get better?
Good question. You need metrics. Quantitatively, you look at things like click-through rates, CTR, or people clicking the image.
Mm-hmm.
Conversion rates, obviously, are those clicks turning into sales or signups. Heat map tools are great, too.
Like Hotjar, shows where people are looking and clicking on the page.
Exactly. Helps you see if your layout is guiding the eye effectively. And you can use surveys for things like brand recall. Do people remember your visuals?
So the numbers tell part of the story.
Yeah.
But what about the why? The feelings?
That's where qualitative feedback comes in. Focus groups, interviews. They help you understand the emotional reaction. Are people intrigued, confused, inspired?
Okay.
And interviews can uncover cultural nuances, things the data might miss. Super important if you sell internationally, you need to check visuals resonate properly everywhere.
And tech is getting smarter at helping with optimization too, right? AI and stuff.
Oh yeah. There are AI tools now that can analyze images for composition, color, even predict emotional impact. We're also seeing personalization engines getting really good, meaning the website can dynamically swap out visuals based on who you are, what you've looked at before, showing you the image most likely to persuade you.
Wow. Okay, getting sophisticated. Let's try and wrap this up. What are the absolute core principles people need to take away? And how can listeners start applying this right now?
Okay, key takeaways. 1, balance logic and emotion in your visuals, facts and feelings. 2, high-quality images are non-negotiable for credibility.
Right.
3, adapt your visuals for different platforms. What works on Instagram might not work on your product page. And 4, test, test, test. Constantly iterate based on data and feedback.
And actionable first steps for our listeners.
Start with an audit.
Yeah.
Look at your current visuals. Are they consistent? Do they match your brand now? Then prioritize. Where will improvements have the biggest bang for the buck? Homepage, top sellers.
Makes sense. Focus your effort.
Yeah. Invest in measurement tools, analytics, heat maps. And keep an eye on new tech like AI and AR. See what's coming.
So looking ahead then, what's the future hold for visual influence online?
It's only going to get bigger, I think. Especially with VR, AR, AI getting better all the time. Success in the future. It'll probably be about blending art, tech, and psychology even more deeply. The focus will likely shift even more towards meaningful storytelling.
Yeah.
Using authentic, relatable images to build real customer relationships, not just quick sales.
This has been a really fascinating deep dive into visual persuasion on e-commerce psychology. The takeaway is clear. Powerful visuals grounded in psychology, they're just crucial for e-commerce success today. So definitely time for you to think about how you can apply these ideas to your own store.
And if you're ready to supercharge your sales with winning visuals on your Shopify store, definitely test Growth Suite. It helps you optimize product images, test layouts, manage visual campaigns for maximum impact, all while keeping that personal touch customers love. You can find Growth Suite on the Shopify App Store and test it out for free.
So here's a final thought to chew on. With AI and visual tech moving so fast, how might the very definition of authentic e-commerce imagery change in the next few years? And what ethical lines will become even more important to watch as we try to build lasting trust? Something to think about.
E-commerce psychology has been powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you run smart discount campaigns on your store. Remember, you can test it for free on your Shopify store. Just search for Growth Suite on the Shopify App Store.